Right? Questions? Okay, for our pre-Rosh Hashanah lunch shiur, I wanted to look at two psukim here in Tanakh that describe Rosh Hashanah, and then I went searching for some understanding about one of them. Okay, so one of them that I think is more familiar to you is that the Teruah in the Midbar says B'chodesh HaShvi'i, that in the 7th month, which is Tishrei, Ve'echad l'chodesh mikra kodesh yelachan kol melachat avodah lo ta'asu Yom Teruah yelachan. So on Yom Teruah is the day of Rosh Hashanah. It's the day where we have issue for blessed. Okay, and Vayikra though before that, in Chaf Gimel, Parak of Gimel, Pasuk Chaf Gimel, it calls it the Berah B'nai Yisrael Lemor B'chodesh HaShvi'i Ve'echad l'chodesh yelachan Shabbaton, meaning you should have a day where there's no melacha. Zichron Teruah, right? The remembrance of a Teruah, which is, either it's a Yom Teruah or it's a Zichron Teruah, but a little confusing. So the Gemara makes heads and tails of it by telling us the halacha that you do not blow shofar on Shabbat. So that this pasuk that talks about it as Zichron Teruah is if it's Shabbat, then we don't blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah. And this one that's at Yom Teruah is at Mamash, it's a weekday we blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah, it's called Yom Teruah. Fine. And that's what the Chachamim teach us, and the reason that they have this halacha is, they say in the Gemara, lest someone can, like it's a gzeira. Shema is maybe someone will go take their shofar to a baki, to a master who knows how to blow it, because it's a musical instrument. Take someone who knows how to do it, and that's carrying it, and you're not allowed to carry it. Don't think of Hebrews that we put up, but you're not allowed to carry it. So they don't want people blowing shofar on Shabbat because you'll end up carrying it to someone who will teach you how to blow. Okay? So that's what the Gemara talks about. But if you look at Mefarshim, everyone still tries to understand what meaning Zichron Teruah has, because that halacha is a gezerah by Chacham. So that means it's a halacha that's dirabanan that they're attaching to this pasuk as a smach, that we call it, as a heat, to a hook. They hook it on this pasuk Zichron Teruah. But since they're saying that as a siyag, Mefarshim still talk about, but what is Zichron Teruah? So I was looking at some things that's very interesting. So first of all, the Ramban says that it refers to the fact that we're blowing the shofar because we, Zichron Teruah, it's a Teruah, which is bringing our memory before God, meaning God is remembering us on this day. So it's a Teruah that calls up our past to God. He gets that idea from the second Mishnah in Masechet Rosh Hashanah, where the second Mishnah in Torah Sheba'al Peh teaches us Rosh Hashanah kol ba'ei ha'olam ovrim lefanav kivnei mamor. That on Rosh Hashanah we have a misorah, that is a yom, where everybody's passing before God and God is judging. So the Ramban says that's what Zichron Teruah means, the idea that we blow shofar, and thus, we herald in like this time of remembering by God. Okay, fine, so that's one. But then if you keep looking, I saw some others that I'll share with you, that is neat. Like the Sforno says that we remember the king's trumpets. It's a Zichron Teruah. Remember the king and how he's coronated with trumpets, meaning this is the day that we are Mamlich Hashem. This is the day where we talk about Malchut, that God is king of the world. It's the day where we coronate, and the shofar is the sound that everybody hears when we coronate the king. So Zichron Teruah is the day that we're remembering the idea of Teruah as it relates to kingship, and God is our king. Okay. Rav Hirsch has such a neat idea. Rav Hirsch writes that if you look at another place where the shofar is blowing, which is by Yovel, you can make a connection. He says that in the year of Yovel, the 50th year, when you let the slaves go free, you blow the shofar on Yom Kippur, and all the slaves go free. Okay? So Rav Hirsch says, Zichron Teruah. Remember the Teruah of the slaves going free, and think about how we need to go free. Just like they have to get away from what is controlling them and return to God. Remember, they have to get a pierce because they would rather be the human master without God as a master. So now they're finally getting rid of all that, and they're going back to God. So too, Rav Hirsch says, we every year in Rosh Hashanah when we blow the shofar, we think about avadim going free. Even though for them it's once in the Yovel, but for us it's every year we have to get refocused, lose all those distractions, get back to God, set ourselves free. So that's the Zichron Teruah. Okay, that's Rav Hirsch. The Sefer Achinuch writes that we need to remember that we have to wait. which he gets, like the Rambam also says that idea. Get up. It's like an alarm clock reminding us that we have to start doing tshuva if we haven't started, and we have to remember that Yom Hadin, that Yom Kippur is coming, and it's time to do tshuva. So again, you have Pasuk, you have the Gemara talking about Shabbos versus weekday. Then you have Ramban saying God is remembering us. You have Sforno saying we're remembering the idea of kingship. You have Rosh talking about we're remembering to be like the Havadim and leave our masters, whatever's ruling over us, and return to God. And then you have Zichron saying we need to remember to do tshuva, and this is our alarm clock. And all of those are ways to interpret Zichron Teruah. One other thing that I saw that I think is neat to know is that Menachem Litan, when he talks about Rosh HaShana, asks why was this time chosen to be the day of judgment? So some say that perhaps because it's the birthday of the world, according to one Gemara. So like on everyone's birthday, you sort of see, well, how would you do? Like we assess. So too, if this is the world's birthday, then we should assess every year. How's the world doing? Okay, but according to one Amora, that's not the birthday of the world, it's Nisan. So let's say it is Nisan, then what are we doing here? Talking about, remembering how and thinking how's the world doing and checking. So Menachem says that if you look at what's going on now in the world, it's the time of the beginning of rain. And we know that Korach is starting, and Sukkot is the Chag where we're judged for water. And he says that doesn't it make sense that at the beginning of the rainy season, which is about to start, don't we think God is sitting there calculating how much rain is he going to send for the coming year? So basically, this is a time of judgment. Like, it's a time of judgment because it's pre-winter. And in Israel especially, where we really feel that, pre-winter means judgment time. So the idea of Bnei Israel getting judged is just like a related corollary to the idea of the rain coming, because it's wrapped up in that. So all of that is going on now in terms of what Yom Zichron Teruah and the Teruah might represent. Shkoyach for coming in their free time. Take it out. Okay, I have to finish photocopying.